Good morning, everybody. You can come onto your yoga mats. Good morning, or whatever time of day it is. You might be catching this later, but to those of you out there live with me, thank you for joining me. These Sunday morning flows get me out of bed. I look forward to them every week. So this week, we're gonna do Journey into Power. Nothing like last week. We did all of the poses, all the 90 minutes worth of sequence in 60 minutes. This week, we're just gonna go through a kind of a modified 60-minute flow like we often do. I wanna talk today about expectations, something that I've been doing the work on this past week. I've been doing like a social media fast. I've been off of Instagram and Facebook, and a lot of these posts that I've been putting on YouTube, even for the last while, I pre-filmed them, just giving myself some space from all of that, and really realizing in that time away from social media, how much I kind of felt bogged down by the expectations that I put on myself in my yoga practice, on my body, on my to-do list, all of that kind of stuff. So we're going to go through the practice today, moving through it, and really trying to check in with how often maybe unrealistic expectations or harsh expectations or overpowering expectations can hold me back in my practice and in my life. Okay, so we're going to move into child's pose to start, and just go with the flow, yogi. Take rest when you need it. Do what you can do, and really challenge yourself to step out of your head and into your physical body. Okay, so starting in child's pose, knees nice and wide, taking your big toes to touch. Just allow yourself to land. Starting the practice by creating that connection to your physical body through your breath. Slowing down. And just start right here in this first pose. What's your expectation of the practice today? What do you expect your body should do for you? What do you expect of your mind, where your thoughts should be? Shoulds or expectations, yeah? And sometimes an expectation can empower you. If you have something you want to do, you expect it to work a certain way, and it does, amazing, right? And they don't always work out that way, which I know for me can be pretty disempowering if I let them be. What's your expectation of your yoga practice today? Right here. Breathe in. And breathe out. Tabletop. Move into downward facing dog, hips back. I know for me, my expectation today is that I'm going to be a little weaker than usual. I did a leg workout a couple days ago and I'm still feeling it. I've been walking like 15 kilometers a day the last few days. And like just starting right from this first pose or second pose, that expectations, like obviously that can hold me back. If I already am feeling like I'm going to be weaker, like I'm going to have to modify, maybe it's true. And maybe it's not, right? Breath by breath in this practice, it's really what's actually happening, and just trying to check in with what's actually happening compared to what's happening in your mind, how things should look. Spread your fingers and toes, get rooted through your hands and your feet. Big stretch through the back of the body. Whoa, so good on my legs. I feel them. Heels down. And ragdoll. Step to the top of your mat. Feet as wide as your hips. Just let your upper body go. Grab opposite arms, opposite biceps or elbows, and just letting the weight of the upper body pull down. What's your expectation of me as a yoga teacher? What's your expectation of the people around you? Like to give you space, to be quiet, to join you. Not making any of these things good or bad, just an awareness around them. Ability to check in with when those things might be what's guiding you instead of the actual breath and physical practice that you're in the middle of. Inhale. Exhale. Take one more breath right here. Soften a bit deeper into the fold. Fingertips down to your mat. Bring the feet back to true north. Big toes touching, heels separated a little bit. Next inhale, come up to a flat back, lengthen the spine. And fold, chest to thighs. Extended mountain, press your feet, reach, take a big full body stretch. And fold forward. Halfway lift, fill your lungs. High plank, hold. Start to build a little heat here. 5 breaths in high plank. Yeah, and soften the elbows, bring the work to the arms. Drop your bum down in line with your shoulders and heels. Get the work in the legs, in the core. The more present you are to your physical body, the more that you'll be able to flow with it instead of having an unrealistic expectation of it, maybe. 3 breaths. Inhale. If you need to drop your knees, do that, right? Don't put meaning on it. Just let your body flow. Let your muscles talk to you. And stop listening to what your mind might be trying to say. Inhale here, shift forward. Exhale, low plank, elbows in. Upward facing dog, point your toes back, lift. Downward facing dog, hips back. Breathe in. And breathe out. Generate physical awareness through breath, through the bandhas, the muscle engagement. Hug your skin into your muscles to your bones, and deepen that stretch in your down dog. Breathe in. Melt your chest down. Lift your arm bones up. Take a breath here. As you exhale, really root down through the hands and feet. Feel that big stretch. And then get light onto your heels, onto your toes. Bend your knees. Hop or step to the top of your mat. Flat back, lengthen. And fold. Extended mountain, sweep up, take a big stretch. Fold, chest to thighs. Flat back, belly in. High plank, hold. Hold it. 4 breaths this time. Breathe in. And breathe out. Press all your fingers. Spread the fingers out. Ground every knuckle. The triad of your hand, your thumb base, pressing down. Inhale here. Hold it. Shift forward on your tippy toes. Lower down. Upward facing dog, lift up. Downward facing dog, hips back. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Gaze between your feet. Bring your attention right here to this moment. What do you see? Where's your focus? What's your expectation of how focused you think you should be? Root down. Lift onto your toes. Bend your knees. Hop or step between your hands. Flat back. And fold. Extended mountain, big reach. Press the feet down. Fold. Chest to thighs. Chin to chest. Halfway lift. High plank. And hold 3 breaths. Building heat as access to this moment, access to your muscles, your physical body. Press the floor. Scoop the pit of your belly in. Shift onto your tippy toes. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. How's your body feeling? Where does it need a little bit of extra attention? A little bit of extra physical awareness. Send your breath there. Open your eyes. See what you see. Onto your toes. Bend your knees. Look between your hands. Land your feet right there. Flat back. Fold. Extended mountain from your core. Stretch up. Go back. Fold. Hug in. Flat back. High plank, you probably get the theme here. 2 breaths, yeah? Holding it. So like allowing this moment of pause to build heat, to build presence in your physical body. Shift forward. Lower down. Upward facing dog, big lift up. Downward facing dog, hips back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Again. Root down. Lift. Bend. Hop or step forward. Flat back. And fold. Extended mountain, 1 more, go for it, your biggest stretch, yeah, feel that reach. Fold. Hug in, get small. Lengthen. High to low plank, just the breath here. Use the exhale to lower down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Lift onto your toes. Bend your knees. Hop or step forward. Flat back. And fold. Utkatasana. Sit a little deeper than you think you can. Yeah, and then do the work of staying there. 5 breaths. Draw the arm bones back. Keep that engagement through your muscles. Inhale. Sit even deeper if you can, yeah? Like, see what's there. And if you expect you should be able to go deeper, but you can't, that's okay, right? Maybe it's even less than your expectation. Maybe it's way less. For me, this is way deeper than I thought was possible. And I feel my legs, but they're working for me. Possibility is often there when we maybe can't see it because our expectations let us be blind to it. I know for me, take a breath in, reach up. Sit a little deeper. Last inhale. Hands down, hips up. Fold. Flat back. High to low plank. With the breath, you move, yogi. Fill up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right foot warrior 1. Lunge. Nice and deep. Draw the right hip bone back. Keep your hips facing forward and then find your deepest lunge. Pressing through the 4 corners of both your feet. Arms reach. Let that front thigh descend as deep as you can. Breathe in. Breathe out. Again. A little further, wherever you are. Take another breath in. Empty. Gaze up to your fingers. Reach for it. Chaturanga Dandasana. Flow with your breath. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Hips back. Take the left side. Warrior one. Find the lunge. Been feeling my, I hate to say bad knee, but it's the one with like no cartilage. I've been feeling it the last few days. It's kind of icy, a couple meter falls, twisting it. So yeah, I'm just like listening to that. Could I force my body deeper? Probably. But is that a good idea? I don't think it is. Right? This expectation that, because my knee's been really strong a lot of the time, that I can always force it to do what I want it to do. That's not always true, right? We can't force our body. Even if our mind wants it to do something, there's a physical limitation. Like, what do you make that mean? If your desires don't meet up, your expectations of your body don't meet up with how it shows up for you. Inhale. Exhale. Stretch your side body. Stay right here. Take one more breath in. Chaturanga Dandasana. Plant the hands. Lower down. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Expectation, it can go in both directions, right? If you expect too much, it's exhausting. You won't give yourself moments to rest, moments to really feel the poses, moments to experience what you're living in, what's happening. If you expect too little, then there's like this lack of possibility. Like not able to see your full potential in a given moment because you're expecting less than what's there. So you'll just go with it. Make it okay. It's not okay to second guess yourself, yogi. I mean, it happens, but there's something else available to you if you get out of your head and into the actual moment that you're living in, that's happening out here in the world. That's where life happens, not in our thoughts, not in our expectations. Press into your hands and feet. Lift onto your toes. Bend your knees. Hop or step to the top. Flat back. Lengthen the spine. Fold. Chair pose. Sit as deep as you can right here. Fold. Halfway lift, belly engaged, pull it in. High to low plank, lower down. Upward facing dog, press the earth. Downward facing dog, hips back. Right foot warrior one. Intentional through your feet, ground them, and then find stretch, find your lunge. Chaturanga Dandasana. You can add in floating your toes if that happens. Let it go. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side. Warrior one. Big reach. Big stretch. Chaturanga Dandasana. Float your toes if that's there for you. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Breath by breath. If you have an expectation and it doesn't work out, how quickly can you shift to what's actually happening? Not dwelling, not meaning making, going with the flow. Vinyasa. It's this style of yoga. It's just a way of life, going with the flow, breath by breath, taking things as they come. Free of meaning, free of judgment, free of criticism. How often do you tap into that, yogi? How often do your expectations hold you down, hold you back? Root down, lift onto your toes, bend your knees, hop or step to the top, flat back, fold. Chair. And fold. Halfway lift, belly in. Chaturanga Dandasana, move with breath. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side. Not rushing here, okay? Move with purpose, with your breath. Chaturanga Dandasana, flow it out. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side. Warrior one, go for it. Reach for it. Chaturanga Dandasana, toes can hover. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. Take a full breath out. Right foot, crescent lunge. Step forward. Keep your back heel lifted high. Breathe in. Find your lunge, maybe like longer stance or shorter stance, depending on what's actually there for you. Hands to heart center. Shift forward and twist. Wrap the shoulders back. Twist it out. Inhale. Gaze up over the right shoulder. See how deep you can take the twist. Whoop, if you fall out. Maybe something else is there for you. Possibility to modify at any moment of this practice. Breathe in. Twist deeper. Warrior two. I really had this realization this past week of how exhausting my expectations of myself have been lately. Trying to do so many things at once and then ultimately doing nothing because I feel stuck, overwhelmed, all in my head, those expectations, right? No one's put them on me. It's nobody else's fault but my own. Extended side angle, come down. You can use a block here if you have one inside your foot. Just bringing the ground a bit closer. Find your deepest lunge. Yeah, maybe it's bird of paradise. Maybe it's a bind. For me, that's not going to fit today. And that's not an expectation. It's the reality of my body. Like I injured my knee this past week a little bit. Nothing serious, but something worth listening to. Expecting things to be the way they've been before. Sometimes that's amazing. Often it's exhausting. These things change. Each day, each breath is a new moment for something different. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Plant your right hand on the floor. Go right to side plank from here, so you'll step your right foot back. If you need to, drop the bottom knee down. I'm going to do this today. Option there, like either way, you can lift the top leg up. Have your wrists and shoulders stacked, so check your front hand isn't way out in front of you, okay? You want it in underneath your shoulder, stacking joints. Use your core muscles here, pull in and then expand out from your fingers, from your toes. Look up, breathe. One more full breath. Chaturanga Dandasana, plant the hands. Lower down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Crescent lunge, left side. Check in. right? If you've got knee issues, like if you're out there and you do suffer from knee pain, keeping the knee behind the ankle is really helpful. Much safer. Trying to force yourself somewhere that doesn't fit, that doesn't feel like it's going to work. Sometimes twist, don't sometimes twist, twist. I was going to say sometimes things show up differently than we want them to. My knee was something that held me back for a long time. I expected that I couldn't do a whole bunch of these yoga poses when I first started doing yoga. So I didn't even try back then. My expectation was I have an injury, so it's not going to be able to do that. I won't be able to do that pose. I won't be as good as that yogi or that teacher. And then that was true because I kept living it. Never trying, never stepping into anything different than that. The fact is that we don't know what's possible day by day. Today's different than yesterday. A week ago, I could have gone way deeper in the lunge, and today, like, it just doesn't feel right. Take a breath in. Twist your upper body deeper. Warrior 2. Set it up intentionally. Oh, gotta take it back for that. I have almost no cartilage in my left knee. That's fact. That's like the surgeries that I've had. I've had a Baker's cyst, a lot of swelling. All of that stuff is true. What's not true is that it always has to hold me back. What's not true is that it makes me less of a yogi, yes, less of a teacher, unable to walk long distances. Breathe in. Soften into the pose, like just embody that. What does that even mean to you? Where's there rigidity? Where are you stuck? Extended side angle. Expectations can empower you or rob you of possibility. Being curious about them. Sometimes you'll surprise yourself. Sometimes you might feel disappointed. That's life. Next breath. It's a new opportunity to see it differently. To shift what you make it mean. Twist. Take a breath in right here. Look down, plant your left hand. I need to bring my right hand down for this transition today. That's okay. Set it up. I'm going to drop my knee. You can have both legs straight. Take your fullest expression. Sometimes modifying down, like, making it less than maybe in your mind, can give you access to something new. With my knee down, like I can get this leg up. It brings more work here, I feel like, in my glute and my outer hip. More stability for sure. It's not always a bad thing to be stable. It can be great to get to that wobbly place, and it can be great to just do the pose that's steady and sure, if that's what fits in that moment. 2 more, in. Look up, express through your fingers, spread them, your toes, full breath in. Chaturanga Dandasana, plant your hands. Lower down. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Come onto your toes. Bend your knees. Step to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. And fold. Utkatasana twist. Sit into your seat. Hands to heart center. Hook your left elbow on your right knee. Swing your left knee back in line with the right. Keep them lined up. Shoulder blades draw back. Breathe in. Sit as deep as you can. Maybe it's less deep than you want it to be. That's okay. Maybe it's deeper than you expected as possible. Lengthen. Twist. 1 more. Go for it, yogi. Feel it. And fold. Feet as wide as your hips. Scoop up your big toes. Fingers to toes forward fold. Let the weight of the head angle down. Where is there an expectation that is preventing you from seeing a different possibility? In a yoga pose, in a relationship, at a job. Where is that expectation keeping you blind from something different? Breathe in. Fold a bit deeper. Chair. Twist. Right elbow to the left knee. Shoulders back. Belly strong. Inhale. And exhale. It's 4 more breaths. In. And out. Lengthen. Sit as deep as you can. Twist as far as you can. What does that mean? Right here, yogi. Breathe. Stay. Fold. Gorilla. Palms under the feet. Press the toes down into your wrists. You can't get your hands under your feet. Maybe you have that expectation. I've got to do that. It can be on tops of the feet. It can be on top of a block if you don't have the mobility to get that deep, right? Just let it happen. Let your body show you. If you need a big bend in your knees, you can even have your chest resting all the way on your thighs if that feels good. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Take one more, actually. I lied. Feels good. Soften into it. And crow. Today I'm doing it with my toes on the ground. You do you, yogi. Knees to armpits. Big bend in the elbows. Shifting the weight forward. I know I can come up, and I also feel like I don't need to prove anything to myself. Most of you out there should know that I can do a crow, right? I'm not trying to prove anything to you. It's like having some compassion for my knee today. Shift forward. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. If your toes are on the ground, this is still crow, right? You can lift the heels higher, maybe just onto the tips of your big toes, but still stable, still present. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last one right here. Come down. Just come up to a forward fold here. Interlace your hands at your low back. Let your fist come up and over your head. A bend in the elbows might feel nice here. If you've got tight shoulders. If they're really tight, you can take a towel or a strap between your hands. Melt your chest closer to your thighs. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more. Release your hands down. True north, big toes touching. Come up to a flat back. And fold. Sweep all the way up. Take eagle on the right side, right arm under, right leg over. I usually modify this side. I always do, actually, just because this can be a strain on the knee, putting the sideways pressure. So I take a kickstand always on this side. And like I've really have tried, that's an expectation where I've checked in again and again. And every time I try to do the bind on this side, it hurts. Like it literally causes pain in my body. So what am I trying to prove, right? Where do you have an expectation, yogi, that you know is true, but you still put some meaning on it? You still feel like you have to always check back, second guess your intuition. Instead of just like having a knowing, like trusting that your body will tell you what it needs. Nothing wrong with checking in sometimes, but what is it caused by? Like a need for things to be different, or just a curiosity? Breathe in. Breathe out. Being curious can be great. Switch sides. Just relentlessly trying to make something change that's, maybe never going to change. Some things don't change, and we don't have the power to force them to. I can't force my cartilage to grow back in my knee. I can't force my body to not be in pain when I almost slipped on ice and twisted it in a weird way. But I can also stay in a yoga practice and modify it and listen to my body. Instead of just expecting that, I can't do yoga today, I better cancel my live stream. No, that's not an option. I mean, it's an option, of course, but there's other options that are more empowering. Breathe in. Sink a little deeper, support it, hug the inner thighs. Sweep up. It's going to go to tree today. For me, the balancing poses are not feeling great. I'm going to take a kickstand. Hands to heart center. So again, kickstand is an option. Toes on the ground to stabilize it. Having that extra point of contact with the floor can really maybe give you access to something bigger in the upper body. A fuller expression than you expect there. I'm going to take reverse namaste today. Hands behind your bum if you want to try that, fingertips touching, and then you turn them up. Take prayer behind your back. This helps really to stabilize me in a back bend if I want to take it here, starting to go up and back. Soften through that bottom knee, not rigid, not locked out. Possibility to express fully right here. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more big breath. Slowly come up. Switch sides. I'm just going to keep my hands right where they are. This feels so good. I love this in the nape of the back. It really can support the back. And on this side, I can bring my foot up a little bit. Different legs, different possibilities. Breathing into it. Exploring the pose. See what's actually available right here. 3 more. Fullest expression on your mat. 2. One more breath. And release. Sweep your arms up. Fold your chest forward. Halfway lift. Chaturanga Dandasana. Flow it out. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward. Warrior 1. Reach up. Open to warrior 2. Straighten the front leg. Come forward and come down. Triangle. This is a great place for a block, especially if you've got some knee issues. Just give yourself that extra space so you're not forcing yourself down, your side body not crunching up. And make sure the knees are soft, yogi, okay? This is one of the most common places for the knees to get locked out, hyperextended. Not good for the joints. Take it from me. Breathe in. Twist. Reach up. A little further. Pull yourself up to stand. wide leg fold or headstand. Yeah, if you practice headstand, go for it. See what's possible. If you have an expectation that you can't do a headstand, that was me for a long time, for sure. You'll need to shift the expectation if you want to ever get into a headstand. And if you can do a headstand and you expect that it's always going to happen, I can also vouch for the fact that some days it's just not there. Some days I go to do it and my neck or my back or my core says not going to happen. So I drop the expectation. Or I force it, and I fall out. Maybe cause an injury. Been there too. Forcing things rarely works. For me, I've never really had the expectation I wanted by forcing something. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come back down if you're upside down. Pyramid. Walk your hands over to your right foot. Step the left foot in. Hands to either side of the right foot and fold. Drawing back that right hip. Get the leg active. Such a big stretch through the hamstring. Oh, my legs feel so tight today. If you want more stretch, like I'm just going to be like, glutton for punishment. Come up onto your heel on that foot so your toes lift off the ground. It'll give you more of a stretch through the back of that right leg, right hip bone back. Ground through the center of the heel. And let the upper body go. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more big stretch. Feel it. Stay for your exhale. And ground the front foot. Halfway lift. Chaturanga Dandasana. Flow it out. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side. Warrior one. Step into it. Open up warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Keep the micro bend, yogi. Keep supporting the joint. Micro bending the knees causes the stabilizing muscles around the joint to fire up. If you're not used to that, if you're a hyperextender like I am, like I'm not quite double jointed, I wouldn't say, but my knees lock out pretty good. Something around that. It might feel unusual to you to have a micro bend. It feels like you've got a huge bend in your knee, but that work builds strength around the joint. That's how I ended up getting into the poses I can do today. Listening to my body. Doing the work that might be a little uncomfortable, which is really different than the work that's painful, okay? Because painful is locking out my knee. Painful is forcing a bind that's not there, or that can cause injury. Twist deeper. Look up to your top hand. Stay for the breath out. You'll pull yourself up to stand. Whoop. Wide leg fold. And take the bind here. Keep the bend in the knees. It's not a big bend. It's like an almost imperceptible tiny little bend in the knees that keep it strong and supported. Hands, if they're bound, press the knuckles up. Inhale. Press the outer edges of the feet down. Lift your inner thigh muscles up into the bones. Breathe in. Breathe out. Again. Hold it. Take one more breath. And release your hands down. Move into pyramid, toes forward. Walk your hands over. Bring your back foot in. Start with the front foot down. Even if you're going to lift the heel eventually, just get the rooting. Start with that. Draw back the left hip bone. And then the option is there for you to lift that lift the toes of your left foot off. Get your heel down.
Drawing back the left hip bone. Really keep softness in the upper body. Breathe in. Check that your knees are not locked, yogi. Couple more. Big stretch. Breath in. Breath out. Ground that front foot. Come up to a flat back. Step back to the high plank. Hold here again for 5 breaths. Building up a little heat again. Belly in. Elbows soft. Engage skin to muscle, muscle to bone for 3. For 2. Inhale here, shift forward. Slowly lower down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, onto your belly. Move into locust right away. Arms back. Lift your chest. Lift your legs. Your arms. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Take it higher. And release down. One ear to the mat. Bend your knees and let the feet fall from side to side. Grab onto the outsides of your ankles. Hug your knees towards each other. So especially with knee issues, letting them splay out too wide, it puts a weird side pressure on the knee. Side pressure is not what our knee likes, okay? So keeping everything in line, kick back. Maybe you don't go up as high as you always wanted to. Maybe you go higher than you expected today. Like, what's there? Where can you take it? Breathe in. Breathe out. Kick back, squeezing towards center. Hug your inner thighs towards each other. Take one more breath in. Slowly come down. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Walk through. Come down onto your back. And move into bridge. Right here. Feet at 12 o'clock. Ground through the backs of the triceps, really getting the shoulders integrated. Lift up. Use your glutes. Use your legs. Root through the mounds of the toes. It's not just the heels pressing, the 4 corners of the feet, rooting into the mat. Breath in and breath out. Find your fullest expression of bridge, lifting the chest. Start to find that. Inhale. Exhale. One more big breath, big lift. Slowly come down, knees from side to side. And set up for wheel or another bridge. Both are perfect options. One thing I've learned is that I can pretty much always do a wheel, even if I don't want to. And it also is like a difference of where I put my foot placement if my knee's feeling uncomfortable. Do I come onto my toes? Probably not. Pressing through the 4 corners of the feet. Hugging skin to muscle, muscle to bone, through the legs, through the arms, the shoulders. Breathe in. Breathe out. Press. And lift. Take one more breath. Slowly come down. Keep the knees hugging towards each other. Knees from side to side. Do 2 more back bends, yogi. Do what you need to do. Bring yourself back up. Bridge or wheel. Set it up intentionally where your foot and your hand placement is. And then go. What's your expectation of your back bend practice, of your wheel, of your bridge? Do you expect it has to be wheel? Because yeah, I think I'm going to do a bridge for the last one. That's okay, right? I don't need to prove anything to myself, to you. You're not proving anything to me by forcing your body to do something that doesn't work, or by holding yourself back, limiting yourself. Press into your biggest back bend. Slowly come down. Knees from side to side. A bridge or wheel. I'm going to take a bridge. Bridge is a powerful pose. Wheel is a powerful pose. Every pose is powerful, truly. Like a half pigeon is powerful. A forward fold is powerful. If you take from it what it's available to you. If you're out of your head, dropping expectation, dropping the need to hurry, to rush to the next thing, then there's something available in any yoga pose. Something you might not expect. Especially from the poses you don't have much expectation of. Breathe in. Breathe out. Again, take it up to your fullest possible expression. One more breath. Slowly come down, Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. Right hand on your belly, left hand on your heart. And just close your eyes. Check in with your body. What's your expectation for the end of the practice? Certain poses you think you have to do in order to have like a completion. Ultimately, the practice is always yours. I'm here to guide you, but even if you just show up with me and you do different poses that I'm calling sometimes, like it's your practice. And again, like there's never an expectation from me, even if you're in a live class with me where I can see you, I don't expect you to do everything I say. But absolutely, especially for you on a class where like I can't even see what you're doing, you listen to your body, right? Do what it needs, but just check in if you're forcing it to do something from expectation instead of what it might actually be asking for. Happy baby. Press your low back into the floor, your tailbone. Oh, so good for tight hamstrings, tight inner thighs. Pull down. If you want a wide leg straddle, I can't do that here, but straightening out the legs might feel really nice. Breathe in. Breathe out. I'm going to stay on my back today for thread the needle, or reclined pigeon in the same pose. Figure 4 stretch, I think is considered to be the same thing. So grabbing through the back of the thigh. I think with figure 4, maybe if you want to straighten out the top leg, that's an option. You can bend your knee and grab like the front of your shin instead, which might deepen it for you. I'm going to go for good old thread the needle, taking my right elbow to the inner right thigh and pushing that right thigh away. Both feet stay active here. If your expectation was a half pigeon or whatever it might be, then like you can go to that if you really need it, truly. If you resist thread the needle because you think it's less of a stretch, I mean, I don't disagree. I think that the more you bring that engagement, the pulling in of the left thigh, the pushing out of the right thigh, there can be just as much of a stretch available here. It's just a bit different. Different pose, different muscles, different stretch, not better or worse. Breathe in and breathe out. Long breaths. Draw in your left knee. Push out your right knee. Deepen it for a couple more breaths. Find your fullest expression here. One more in and out. Bring your left foot down. I'm going to take twisted root today. I love this pose. It's just feeling so good lately. So you're just going to, from thread the needle setup, let that right foot fall over to the left side of your mat. Kind of like a modified, different version of supine twist. So you've got your right foot flat on the ground with your right knee facing the ceiling. Ground through the shoulders. You can gaze over your right shoulder just to help keep that right shoulder down. Breathe here. If you want something deeper, go for it. Breathe. Where is there an expectation that frustrates you because it's not turning out the way you want it to? What do you make it mean when you can't achieve something the way that you envisioned it, the way that you expected it? What do you make it mean about yourself, about the people around you, your environment, your circumstances? Breathe in. Breathe out. Come back to center. Center your hips. And then switch sides. Left ankle on the right knee. Draw the right knee into your chest. Use that left elbow to press the left thigh away. Where is there an expectation that's not turning out the way you want it to? What meaning do you put on it? Forcing, frustration, like those things don't bring what we want, ever. Keep us stuck. Blind to different possibilities than what we've focused our one-track minds onto. Or our monkey minds onto. I can go both paths, right? The monkey mind of like having like 1,000 expectations that I want to see come to fruition. Trying to juggle all the balls of life and then getting frustrated that I can't juggle them all. Or fixation on one thing I want, one thing I can't achieve, and then just getting frustrated that it won't happen. Trying to force that one thing to play out the way that I envisioned it. Instead of just shifting the expectation to something more achievable, more realistic. There's nothing wrong with thinking outside the box and thinking of like something unrealistic to you. There might be potential there. Getting excited about it. Getting curious about it. Different than trying to force it and make it fit. You can't put a square peg into a round hole. You just can't. It's never going to happen unless you change the shape of the peg. Pull in, push out, inhale, exhale. Move into twisted root. Let that left foot fall down to the ground on the right side of your mat. Ground the shoulders. And this practice might have looked a little different today than you expected. Pretty different than what we did last week, that's for sure. If it wasn't exactly what you wanted, look, I'm not going to say sorry. It might have been what you needed, I'm not sure. Sometimes what we need and what we want are two very different things. I know that's true for me. Take a few more breaths. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. One more. In Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees wide. Take your right hand on your belly, your left hand on your heart. Check in. What was your expectation of this practice? Did it live up to your expectations? And if the answer is no, what's something that you took away from it anyway, even though it wasn't exactly what you had hoped for or envisioned? If the answer is yes, amazing. Yeah, if the answer was no, it might be amazing too. It's all about perception. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Forehead to knees. Hug into a tight ball. Take one more breath. And release. Shavasana. Take rest. Land. And I will read from Journey to the Heart. I've been doing this every Sunday. And it's, good stuff comes out of this book. If you don't know this book by Melody Beattie, it's a great book, just daily meditations to check into. Redefine service. Service is a key, an important one. It's a key to joy, to love, and a gold key to the journey. How long we thought service meant doing everything for everyone. How long we thought service had to be hard, taxing, boring. That it meant doing something we didn't want to do to help someone who didn't want to be helped. Now we're defining service differently. Service is joyful. It's an attitude, a belief, a way of looking at ourselves and our lives. Our very life is service. Our being is service. Service arises and springs naturally out of self-love. It arises from being who we are and from doing the things we want to do and are led to do. The things that bring us the most joy will bring the most service to the world. Doing things we don't want to do will leave us and the world around us cold, untouched, unmoved. Service is love and joy. Service is being who you are. Bask in self-love. Service will flow naturally from that. It will be freely given and freely received. And now what you will do will really help.
Bring your thumbs to the center of your chest. Take a deep breath in. Open your mouth and sigh it out. And a full body stretch, big reach. Bring yourself up to sit if you're not there. Lengthen and then sit up tall. Thumbs to the center of your forehead. The love in me acknowledges the love in you. Yogi, I appreciate you for flowing with me today. Together we bow and we say, Namaste. Thank you, yogis. I hope you enjoyed that. I feel really good in my body and in my mind for sure. So yeah, just check in with your expectations, will you? And just see how often they might be holding you back from joy, from love, from possibility. I've been having a huge shift around that stuff. I will be back on social media soon. I'm coming at it from a different mindset and lots of great stuff coming. I've been, talking to different, I'm trying to find a business coach or a business mentor, really just trying to move Nourish Heal on track in a different way. I want to be doing more online workshops and cooking classes and stuff like that as well, beyond what I'm doing on YouTube. But I've also really come up with, coming soon, there's going to be more videos getting uploaded and more consistency in the variety of videos, as opposed to just like big series of the same thing over and over again, which is great. Not to say that won't happen, but lots more to come. So stay tuned for that, okay? The plant-based power up is coming back. If you know that, I'm a plant-based like a wellness coach as well, and we're doing me and my friend Bella, who's a holistic nutritionist, are revamping the program. It was 21 days before. It's going to be 6 weeks now. A little bit more expensive, but still really about creating community and shifting your diet into a more plant-based way of eating and teaching you how to eat some animal products that are more ethically sourced and more sustainable for the environment. So if you're interested in that, please comment below, let me know, and I will get information to you. But yeah, if you follow me on social media, and I'll be doing a live stream on here to talk about what's coming for that as well. So all the things, hit the thumbs up, please. If you're still here with me, please hit that thumbs up. Let me know that you enjoyed the content. Comment below. It really helps the videos get seen by more people. If you want to join me on Patreon and that community to help support what I'm doing here as well, I would appreciate that. But I just appreciate you for being here and flowing with me. Keep moving your body, keep nourishing your body, stay connected to a consistent mindfulness and yoga practice. And yeah, I love you guys. So thank you for being here. I'm going to come check the chat. Have an awesome rest of your day. So good. I don't know where Mr. B went. He passed out somewhere else. Mr. B, what's up, man? Thank you guys. Amazing. I'm really glad you guys felt your body in a different way. Yeah, awesome. Thank you for being here, everybody, and have an awesome day. I will see you soon. And love you guys that show up every Sunday with me live. And love you if you're checking this later on, because I know lots of people catch it afterwards. So take it easy. Have a good week. I will see you soon.